The single most unexpected realization I had was that hunger does not equal selection. When you show forth hunger is good when you're already in the funnel, or when you're already in good standing with when you're already hired. Because every time I showed forth hunger, it never ever came back to reward me. When I showed forth hunger and created advertorials, when I showed forth hunger, created ads and sent it to the brands and did all that extra stuff to try and get their attention. Bro, that's not how it works. If it did work like that, I would have been a millionaire by now, because I would have freaking made a whole system on delivering free value all the time. But it just doesn't work like that, and it's not sustainable. The best thing you can show a client is that you're self-sufficient. You show them that, yes, I have my own motion. Yes, I'm able to, here's my portfolio. And if you don't have a client yet, you can say, here's my portfolio, here's the advertorials I created for these companies. They don't know that I created these, but I'm working for myself right now. Period. Like, I'm my own client right now. Then you get into the mindset so that it shows that, okay, you might not have a client. That's completely fine. But if you're working for yourself and you're constantly working, the business owner's going to be like, damn, well, he seems promising. Second question. If you can go back to episode 1 and give yourself one piece of advice, knowing everything you know, what would it be? To become self-sufficient. What I mean by that is, when you think of how to get a client, you should think of the type of client you need, to the type of creative strategist you need to be that attracts that client. And just focus on that goal. Focus on that answer completely. For example, when I realized this question for myself, I started uploading 3 videos a day on direct response, because I said I'm never going to go through a situation where a client doesn't know who I am, doesn't know that I've invested countless hours, countless time into this craft with nothing to show for it. So what I do, I have 70 freaking videos on direct response currently right now, including the series. What is one thing you thought you knew about copywriting that was completely flipped on its head as you were on this journey? Next question. Biggest misconception about making it to 15K a month with copywriting you know to be false. Stop learning from winners, bro. Like, stop learning from the Stephen Georgis, the Matthew Volquins. Who else is a famous copywriter, creative staff? Stop learning from those dudes when it comes to failing in this game. Learn from the people who quit. The reason why I say that is because there's this huge bubble of advice that these individuals will give you. But yes, they can give it to you because they're coming from a position of success. But how about the dude who did exactly those things and lost and still lost? You need to figure out the people who had the greatest work ethic and yet still lost. You need to reinforce that failure within yourself. For example, if my friend said, bro, I couldn't get clients, so I had to quit. What I need to reinforce within my own mindset is, okay, if I don't get clients, I'm not going to quit. Even though I'm more likely to quit if I don't get clients, I now know, I now understand, and am prepared to not get clients. Therefore, I'm okay if I don't get clients. I still won't quit. If another friend says, like, bro, I had to pay bills, I can't do it, I'm too busy. It's like, okay, now I know that if I can't, I might not be able to pay bills. So what I'm going to do is reinforce that ideology. Okay, if I can't pay bills, well, I'm still not going to quit. Those are the things you need to figure out so that you don't get knocked off of the game. But yeah, I see you in the finale, guys. Or I'll be returning on November to publish the journey to 15K a month.